So another thing I want to talk about today is you came up with these ideas of getting Scrappy. It's like a Scrappy series. You have these videos that are on TikTok, they're on Instagram. You probably put them on Facebook too. And they're just like brilliant ideas. So you have a lot of them. Oh, my Apple Watch is talking to me. What are your top 5 Scrappy ideas that you can describe here on the podcast for people to learn and apply in their life?
So it's really the most random thing. This Scrappy cooking series started because I posted like an orange peel candy recipe one day randomly, and people went nuts. And I'm like, I'm already kind of doing these things in my home because I like to reduce waste, and grocery prices in Canada especially are just bonkers. So I'm like, might as well share these tips, and it's just kind of taken on a life of its own, and it's probably my most loved series. My favorites, definitely broccoli stem pesto. So if you're buying like broccoli and paying per weight, please don't throw out the stems. They're extremely nutrient dense. They can be used for pesto, for broccoli fries. It's awesome that you reduce your food waste, and you get the most bang for your buck there. Another one that I recently did that like I'm obsessed with is
Hold on a
cabbage
second. Hold on. Okay, what do we do? So you take the broccoli stem, and then what do you do?
Yeah, so broccoli stem pesto, actually, it could be a raw recipe depending on which way you want to approach it. The one I do is typically raw. You literally take the stem, wash it, like after you've removed the florets, and you add it to a blender. You need a high-speed blender for this, in chunks, and you add basil, nutritional yeast, a little bit of cashews if you want. You could use white beans as well, and seasonings of choice. So I think I use garlic powder and sea salt, and you blend that up, and it makes like a beautiful, it tastes like a broccoli pesto. Like it's so good. And then I put that over pasta, but you could use it as a dip as well, like almost like an edamame broccoli stem dip, which might be a good Scrappy idea. So that one I love. And then the other thing you can do with broccoli stems, but you need to peel them if you're doing this, because the hard outer edge, unless you're blending it, can be like a little difficult to chew. So you peel the stems, and I like to toss them in like a panko or a breadcrumb and put them in the oven or air fryer, and they make excellent broccoli stem fries. So good.
Wow.
They remind me of asparagus. Like, I don't know why
Okay.
it's normalized to throw broccoli stems. So that's number one.
Wow.
Number
Okay.
two,
Brilliant. Okay. All right. What's number 2?
we need to talk about cabbage steaks, because people buy people buy a huge thing of cabbage and then they don't use it all because it's like huge,
Yeah.
right? So one tip
Right.
my followers shared is you can actually ask at the grocery store for that to be cut in half, but I've never had that experience. But basically, if you have trouble using up a head of cabbage, cut it into steaks. So like literally cut it so it's like 2 inches thick in a steak, and I love to like marinate or cover it in like a soy sauce tahini marinade, like parsley over top. Throw that in the oven for 30 minutes, and it's like the best cabbage of your life.
Wow. Brilliant. Okay. That's funny. As you saying these things, I can like see the videos in my head, and like that one's brilliant. Okay. What's number 3?
Number 3 would be strawberry top vinegar. This one went really like crazy. It's very simple. So you can make like a beautiful bright red strawberry infused vinegar by just saving your strawberry tops and adding them to like a sealable jar with just the strawberry tops. And what will happen is like it will infuse overnight, and then you remove the tops and you have this beautiful strawberry top vinegar, which can be used for anything from like salad dressings to cocktails. So very versatile and a super easy one. I'm trying to think of some of the other more popular ones. Oh, I'm obsessed with like Aquafaba is really cool. So Aquafaba is like the liquid that's left over in a can of chickpeas, and it really emulates egg whites. So not only can you use it like rather than pouring it down the drain, you can use it as a egg white replacement in something like if you're breading tofu. So it's kind of sticky. And then I really love to actually blend it up. If you whip it up with a little cream of tartar, it can make beautiful meringue cookies and also chocolate mousse. So
Okay. Wait. Hold on a
very
second. Hold on a second. How do we get to a cookie? How do we start with, we're
Yeah.
talking, wait a minute, hold on. We're talking strawberry tops? And then we ended up with a
No.
cookie?
I'm on to number 4. So the strawberry tops
Oh,
I've
sorry.
completed the
Oh, sorry, I missed. Okay, what's number 4?
number 4 is aquafaba. So
Oh, sorry. I completely blanked. That's my bad. Okay. All right. So how does the aquafaba turn into a cookie?
okay, the aquafaba turns into a cookie because you can whip it up just like egg whites, like you would be making a meringue. So if you've ever had a meringue cookie, it's like this really light, kind of sugary cookie made of egg whites. You can do the exact
Okay.
same thing with aquafaba. You just need to whip it up until it foams. You're gonna add a little sugar, maybe a little vanilla extract, and then you can use a piping bag or even a spoon. Put it on a parchment paper lined baking sheet and into the oven for a couple of hours at really low heat, like 200 degrees. And cookies will come out. It's
Okay.
quite,
I
it's quite amazing.
That's amazing. Okay. I have a legit excuse for my brain fart there. My blood glucose is 66 right now, Carleigh. I ate a date. It's going to come up. But nonetheless, okay. So we've gotten through 4. What's number 5?
Number 5. Okay, let me think for a second. Number 5. Okay. What I like to do with lemons, if you like, I think oftentimes we buy a bag of lemons and we don't get through them. So the
True.
best way to use lemons is to add them to a jar with salt and more lemon juice. So juice from whatever lemons you're stacking in there. You want to push them into a jar and preserve them. It's so easy. You literally just stack them with cut them in half, stack them in a jar with lots of salt and lemon juice, and then put them away 1 month. And 1 month later, you're going to have like the most beautiful, fragrant, preserved lemons. I can't even describe the flavor, but it's just an intense, beautiful, sweet, salty lemon flavor that's amazing for salads and even desserts. So preserved lemons are a really awesome one.
Okay, that's a good one. Now, which one of your Scrappy videos was featured on Good Morning America?
Strawberry top vinegar.
That
It
was
was
the one. That was the one.
yeah. Broccoli stem fries were as well, but like they contacted me from that strawberry top vinegar video, which I almost did not post because I thought it was kind of lame. Like I was like, this is too easy, and that just goes to show, right? Like you just never know.
You never know. You never know. And you just gotta put it out there and let the people decide, right?
Exactly.
So I'm pulling up your TikTok right now, and I'm trying to pull up like how many are in this series.
Oh, I haven't
The
been
Scrappy
adding them.
cooking series.
I've done
There's a lot.
38.
Okay. All right. What about leftover makeover? What's that series about?
I kind of melded them. Like I was gonna do a separate series where I take leftovers from like cans. So for example, like in Canada have these huge cans of pumpkin puree that you buy. And like this is the only pumpkin available that's unsweetened. So you buy this huge can of pumpkin puree, but then you're only using like a cup of pumpkin in a baking recipe or something. So like how do you use the rest of the can? So that was my concept for leftover makeover, but as I went on, I'm like it's kind of the same as Scrappy Cooking, so I've amalgamated the series. But I've done 38 episodes of Scrappy Cooking, which is truly crazy because I think I started it in the summer. Like it's just wild.
That is wild. Wow. Okay. And there's so many. I mean, we could literally talk about this for hours. But the potato skins one is a pretty good one. Tell us how does that one go?
Oh yeah, people went wild over this. So basically, again, another one. I was like, I can't believe I'm posting this because it's just so basic. But when you peel your potatoes, if you're making like a mashed potatoes or something, don't throw out the skins. You want to toss them in some spices of choice. I like a little nutritional yeast, oregano, sea salt. Lay them on a parchment paper lined baking sheet or place them in the air fryer and crisp them up about 10 minutes. And like it's so good. They're like these crispy chips almost, but you've used potato skins, which also have a lot of fiber and roughage, so not a bad thing.
Absolutely fantastic.